nonprofit organization based in Minneapolis, Community Reinvestment Fund, or CRF, is the nation's leader in bringing capital to public and private nonprofit community development lenders. Formed in 1988, CRF has injected hundreds of millions of dollars into low-income and economically disadvantaged communities nationwide, helping to generate jobs, affordable housing, and other economic opportunities.
Our mission is to transform the community development finance system by accessing capital markets on behalf of local lending partners so they can have a better impact on the lives of people and communities they serve. So we finance opportunity.
All across America, the hallmark of any prosperous city is defined by its thriving neighborhoods. Real estate developers and city planners point to two important ingredients: the production of affordable housing and the creation of new jobs for area residents, as the most important factors in injecting vitality into a community.
And then with those two things in place, the rest can follow. Good education, community facilities, the things that make a neighborhood livable and viable. Many communities around the United States are thriving right now, but there are areas, pockets in those communities that are having economic difficulty. And as a result, they're in a vicious cycle of deteriorating housing, lack of opportunities for employment, poor schools.
As a nonprofit community development finance organization, Community Reinvestment Fund USA is the leader in partnering investors and developers with communities. By creating affordable housing and small businesses, CRF is transforming distressed areas into socially vibrant and economically healthy neighborhoods.
We bring capital markets to community development, and we do that by accessing Wall Street and the resources of institutional capital that can provide capital that is no longer coming from government sources. So community development leaders, civic leaders, mayors are looking for new opportunities, new ways of funding the turnaround of neighborhoods in their communities. And what Community Reinvestment Fund does, in essence, is tap the billions of dollars that are available in the capital markets and find ways of directing that into the neighborhoods that have our capital starved. Since we began in 1988, we've provided more than $850 million to distressed communities around the country.
Whether it's the skyline or the bottom line, the partnerships forged through CRF are unique because they're beneficial to everyone.
If you visit Minneapolis' Seward neighborhood, you'll find a tortilla factory. It started with 8 employees and today it employs 50. That's one example of the many businesses in the city that have been grown because of the work with the Community Reinvestment Fund USA. This is a partnership we've used to issue over $22 million since 1989, and it's gone for small businesses like that one, but it's also gone for cutting-edge startups in technology. It's gone for affordable housing, but more than anything, it's gone for projects that are really about people taking a risk.
This restaurant is called La Poblanita. It is a restaurant that's owned by a new immigrant family from Pueblo, Mexico. It offers jobs for the family and others in the neighborhood. Because of CRF's involvement, it is a thriving business on the corner of 16th and East Lake Street, much in the same way that others in the area have thrived because of CRF's involvement. It certainly is a testament to the kind of work that can be done in partnership with an organization like CRF and other financial institutions around our neighborhood to help remove blight, reduce crime, and create jobs.
Risk is not something that lenders like. Risk is also something that grows great cities. And when you have an ability to take money and connect it up with people who are willing to stretch and to grow, and especially to grow businesses that help those most in need, you really understand why it's so important to have something like CRF.
For contribution information, contact Community Reinvestment Fund, providing capital for communities and opportunities for people.
When we started back in 1988, we had a vision that we could develop a national marketplace that would supply billions of dollars in capital to community development. We have loans in Hawaii, we have loans on the Hoopa Indian Reservation in California, and in the heart of Harlem in New York City. So we found ways of having capital flow to areas that it doesn't normally flow to in the marketplace. When we see a child who is looking at college, we never had that opportunity before because we've helped finance a charter school or helped a lending partner finance a charter school, that's the reason we want to come to work in the morning. When we see a neighborhood that has been boarded up, transformed over a period of time because we've been able to provide sustained, reliable source of capital to that local lending partner, That's the kind of impact that you can't get through an annual appropriation of public dollars.
We've used it for small buildings. We've also used it for one of our technology startups. But more and more what it really is it's for someone with a great idea and without the bank account and the patient money to do that, to know that the City of Minneapolis and our acquisition fund are partners in growing their business, not just a little, but a lot. Growing businesses often have enough trouble making their own payroll, let alone making those big capital investments that really can grow their business substantially. So the capital fund that we have really is about partnering with those great entrepreneurs and their great ideas and giving them the working capital they need.
Some of the biggest differences in this community due to CRF's involvement is an increase in the number of independent businesses that are owned by new immigrants, particularly Hispanic immigrants in our community. We've seen an increase in jobs in this area, an increase in home ownership, and we've seen a huge reduction of crime in this area because of the removal of blighted buildings in the area. And we've also seen commercial corridors like the corner of 16th and East Lake Street completely revitalized.
We want to be in hundreds and literally thousands of communities around the country by 2010. We have a strategic plan that says we will purchase $1 billion worth of loans by the end of that period, and we'll be reaching out to new organizations that have not ever worked with us in the past. So the future is very bright. For every dollar that's contributed to CRF, we directly leverage at least $30 from the capital markets, and then additional dollars that come into projects that are financed by our lending partners. So every dollar ultimately is generating $90 worth of investment around the country in low-income communities. That's very powerful. Very few nonprofit organizations are able to demonstrate that kind of leverage. So as people are looking for opportunities to contribute, Community Reinvestment Fund can really amplify their resources.